Hello there, Teeny Boy here, and welcome to the Ultimate Personality Test now. Ow. I saw this on Twitter and I just thought it'd be fun to do it. Then I got about halfway through it and I realised that I was rationalising all the choices to myself, and I thought, you know what, I'm waffling on for so long I could probably turn it into a video. So here we are. I just spilled some on myself. Oh, for God's sake, it's already gone wrong. Hang on. Let's try that again, shall we? Right, so yes, in just 12 minutes, find out which of our 16 personality types you match best. Also, get a personalised report with your Big 5, Enneagram, and Jungian type, inspired by MBTI. I don't know what that means. The 3 most popular frameworks, all in one test. So these are all the personality options you can have. These are all the ones that you can get. I got about halfway through, and then I realised this thing is getting me all wrong. I got about halfway through. I've reset the whole thing, so that's lost now. But oh well. It said, okay, charismatic, which I would hope so, but I mean, truth be told, I don't think I'm not going to objectively quantify that for myself. That's wishful thinking at best. But apparently that was one of my options. I would like to think so, but I've already been through that. Rational optimist. Now that's actually wrong. I would happily call myself an irrational optimist. I'll go well, depending on what it gives me later on. I guess I'll go through this, but I'm not a rational optimist. I am fully an irrational optimist. I didn't cure the genophage. I didn't cure the genophage and beat the Reapers with rationality. All right, I didn't do that. CEO, this is wrong. I would not be a CEO at all. I don't have the passion or patience to manage a business. That's just not. I'm not a business manager. That's not something I do. Just no. It said that I wasn't a free thinker, which not free thinker, a critical thinker. It said I wasn't a free spirit, which I don't think. I feel like that's like the most incorrect thing you could possibly say about me, is that I'm not a free spirit. I'm like at what point? How could you possibly qualify that I'm not a free spirit? Right, anyway, you got not a critical thinker. I mean, I guess it depends what it means, I suppose. But I would like to think I'm a critical thinker. I don't think anybody would call themselves not a critical thinker, so I don't even think I can really argue against that. He said I wasn't an introspector. I guess it depends what it means, really. I mean, I would like to think so, but I don't know. Do you know what? I'm not even going to really get into it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's because I'm not really going to get into it. That maybe that's what it means. It said that I was humble. Again, I would like to think so, but I feel like it's just the suggestion that I am humble in and of itself is like I don't like saying that. But I get right, anyway, and I said I'm not a loner, which makes me happy, I guess. It said I was a social perfectionist before. It said, so it didn't give me one in particular. It said once you're halfway through, which is when I stopped, it gives you it rules some out and says this is what we think that you potentially are. I don't know if soft-hearted was included in that, which would be funny actually if it isn't, because I would absolutely consider myself soft-hearted. It said I was a social perfectionist, which I don't know how you could possibly say I'm a social perfectionist. I'm like the opposite of a social perfectionist. I really don't care how other people perceive me. I care about how I want people to perceive me, as in I care about what I want to present to others, not what other people interpret me as, that's how I would describe it. Let me get started. Hang on. There we go. So yeah, I feel like the questions probably all going to be in the same order and all that. All right, so let's have a look. A day that's organized and structured in advance makes me feel more comfortable. I mean, somewhat agree. I feel like I'm all right either way, to be honest. But in general, it definitely doesn't make me uncomfortable or anything like that. And it's more, yeah, somewhat agree. It's like I feel like I can make things up as I go along, but sometimes, but also knowing what I'm doing is beneficial. There's a thin. Okay, wait. See it shift. Oh yeah. So it's just talking. Yeah, I don't think you guys can see that from how I've cropped everything, but yeah. It's just a progress bar. After social interactions, I need some alone time to recharge. No, I don't think that that's true. I wouldn't say that that's true. At all. I like speaking to people. I don't go out of my way to walk the streets and make friends with everyone and attend as many parties and gatherings as possible. I don't go out of my way to seek as many interactions and friend groups and mingle and all that as possible. But That's just because I like making videos. That's just because I like making videos and playing games. It isn't because I don't like people. Like YouTube and making and playing games and all that. It's not like an escape from reality. I know it is for some people. It's not like I'm trying to avoid people. I like doing all those things. It's just that I really like making YouTube videos and playing games. It's not like I'm choosing to do one over the other because I don't like one of them. It's literally just I really like making YouTube videos, you know? At parties, I engage with one or two friends instead of mingling with larger groups. Probably. I mean, I feel like at a party, I'd probably only have one or two friends. I'd probably engage with one or two friends. I'd probably try and do both. That's the thing. I'd probably start with. I'm gonna go with somewhat agree because I would probably start with one or two friends. Like I would introduce. I would introduce myself. Well, I'd say hi to everyone that I know first, and then. Again, my objective wouldn't be to mingle with larger groups. It would be to, like, I would spread out to people that I don't know once I've said hi to everyone that I do know. Like, I'm trying to think of, like at Christmas parties where, like, I don't recognize someone. Like, I'll go and say hi, you know? Like, no, do you know, I'm going to go neither. I'm going to go disagree. I'm going to go neither. Actually, no, wait. I'm going to go back. I'm going to say middling disagree there because I don't agree with that actually. During conflicts, I focus on acknowledging others' emotions. Acknowledging them, yeah. Sure. Exploring abstract theories and concepts attracts me. Excuse me. Exploring abstract theories and concept attracts me. I wouldn't say that it particularly attracts me, like not specifically. Like I don't. There's nothing inherently appealing about something that's abstract. I'm just gonna go neither. Like I'm pretty indifferent towards that, I guess. I aim for maximum productivity. Now, I don't think that this is the spirit of the question. I aim for maximum productivity. I just don't think that I always achieve it very often. I'm gonna go somewhat agree because I aim for it, but you know, like. I don't intend to not get nearly as much as I wanted to done in a day. I don't intend for that to happen. That's just what happens a lot of the time. So I'm only going to go for somewhat agree, to be honest, because I don't think that really captures the spirit of the question. To say that I aim for it isn't. I think it's asking really, do I achieve maximum stuff? Again, it's the same thing here. I always strive for excellence in everything I do. Somewhat agree. I'm going to go for strongly, like not totally agree, but. More agree than somewhat. I always strive for excellence in everything I do. I mean, I don't like not being as best as I can be at something. I don't like the idea that I could do better, and then not do better. You know, like it doesn't mean I'm always excellent at everything, but I strive for excellence. Yeah, I don't half-ass it I mean, I don't half-ass things. Excuse me. I'm a nervous person. No. I mean, like there'll be okay. I mean, totally disagree. I'm gonna go for mid disagree because I mean there will be a limit. I guess like I don't know if I'm zooming towards a black hole or something, I'll probably be a little bit. You know. There will be a cap towards how much nerves I can tolerate, but in general, no, I'm really not nervous. I'm a person who likes to think. I mean, I like to think, yes. That doesn't mean that I'm thinking about necessarily coherent or sensible or productive things. But I like to think, yeah. I'm a quiet person. No. No. I'm not a quiet person. I'm a workaholic. No. I'm a workaholic. No. I'm going to go, like, mostly disagree. I'm trying to think how many hours would I spend in a day on YouTube, like making YouTube videos. I mean, in order to make sure everything gets out like on time. That's what I'm trying to mix this with. Because I mean, like at a job, depending, I guess depends is always relevant. But it's like at a job, I only work the 8 hours that I need to, and then I go home. So no. Is what I was gonna say. Well, I mean, like, no, I'm not a workaholic, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, but that's because I only need to be there for 8 hours because it's not like it's my dream job type of thing. But it's like when making YouTube videos, especially when I'm basically working on my own time, I'll work until I either think I can't work anymore or everything's done. In which case, maybe somewhat agree, but I feel like to try and capture the spirit of both of them, I'm going to go neither. I am not easily satisfied. I feel like I am pretty easily satisfied. Wait, I am not easily satisfied. I'm going to go between these two. I feel like I am pretty easily. No, I'm going to go mainly disagree. I am pretty easily satisfied. To be perfectly honest. I'm out for my own personal gain. I mean, excuse me. I mean, like somewhat. I'm going to go neither. It's between neither and somewhat disagree, because I mean, like, you know, I'm not out to get myself killed or anything like that, but a lot of why I want to do well is for the benefit of other people and my family. I know that sounds like a really not so much a cop out, but like a very obvious thing to say. I know that sounds like it's something that everyone would say about themselves. It doesn't sound like a very telling thing to say, if that makes any sense. I know it sounds like it's something that anybody would say about themselves, but I mean, I'm gonna commit to that answer. I'm out for my personal gain. I mean, yeah, not really. I mean, I've said for years and years that I've needed both a new phone and an actual PC, and I have neither. Because I haven't focused on saving up for myself to get those things. I'm sensitive to other people's needs. I mean, yeah, for the most part. I mean, there probably will be a limit, of course, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I like to spend money on other people. I like to make sure that they're sorted out, that they're taken care of when I think I'm physically able to. Yeah. I'm very that gives me personal satisfaction. That is my limit of satisfaction. When it says I'm not easily satisfied. That's what satisfies me in a lot of cases. I'm very disappointed when people don't meet my high expectations. No, I don't really think I have very high expectations. I'm usually not disappointed in people. I'm trying to think of like an instance where I've been disappointed in someone. I don't think I do that. Neither agree nor disagree. I'm just going to go middle. Sure, why not? I appreciate having a well-structured day with planned tasks. Oh, by the way, I know that this isn't going to give me a coherent answer at the end of this, but this is what we're going with. I appreciate having a well-structured day with planned tasks. I appreciate that, but I feel like I'd like to think that I can operate without it. So I'll go for somewhat agree. I appreciate leaders who make firm and quick decisions. Okay, so I appreciate leaders who do that, yeah. I feel like there's more to being a leader than just that, but I mean, yeah, those are very good traits in a leader. I appreciate unconventional and unpopular opinions and ideas. Okay, so I'm just going to go with neither agree nor disagree. I appreciate unconventional and unpopular. There is nothing inherently valuable about about an opinion or idea because it's unconventional or unpopular. It depends if it's good, is basically where I would sit on that. So just neither. I become frustrated and angry at people who don't live up to my expectations. No, because again, I don't really have many expectations of other people. But also, I'm not really a frustrated or angry person. I would describe frustration differently. Like, for example, when I was playing something like Just Cause, like when I'm playing a game that's really annoying me, I'll get annoyed or frustrated or flustered, for example, like energized. But I won't become angry. Like that's a particular tier that I would describe it. Like when I stopped playing Just Cause, I stopped being pissed off. Like I weren't angry at it. I was just frustrated at playing it. Whenever I'm playing a game that's frustrating me, the moment I turn it off, I'm not frustrated anymore. It's completely gone. Whereas if I'm angry at something, then that would follow me around for like an hour, I guess. Like I don't get angry. I don't. Nothing sits inside me, if that makes any sense, I believe that laws should be strictly enforced. Yeah. I mean, without going into whether or not a particular law is good, the whole point of it being a law is that it is enforced. So yes, it should be enforced. If you think a law shouldn't be enforced, then you're saying that it shouldn't be a law, because a law should be enforced. That's what it's there for. That is why it's a law. I can sustain any conversation with anyone on any subject. I mean, I don't know about sustaining a conversation. Does it mean that nobody is silent for any amount of time? Like, no, I don't think I could do that with anyone on any subject. But I mean, I feel like I can pretty much I can at the very least let the other person do the talking, um, or prompt them to keep talking at least. Yeah, I wouldn't say totally agree. I'd say somewhat agree. I mean, I'm a talkative guy, as you know. I've not even shut up yet. I don't tend to shut up, so I can at the very least keep talking. And I think for the most part, even if the topic is something that I'm really not interested in, and I'll forget about the moment the conversation ends, I can definitely keep prompting people to keep talking. I can take in and process lots of information. I'm gonna go for somewhat disagree. You know, I need to be able to like stop something. I need to be able to like stop for a second, slow down, and then like ask questions about it. Like if you chuck a bunch of information at me, this is where like if you chuck a bunch of information at me, I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, that all makes sense. I'm gonna stop and be like, right, stop, question, it's question time. So I'm gonna go somewhat disagree. Maybe I'm gonna go mid disagree actually. I connect better with out-of-the-box thinkers than those confined by societal expectations. I connect better with out-of-the-box thinkers than those confined by society. I don't know what that means. I connect better with out-of-the-box thinkers than those confined by societal expectations. Connect better, maybe. I don't even know that I do. I feel like I tend to connect with a lot of people very well. I'm just gonna go with neither, you know. I don't think it really matters that much to me. I consider myself more of a pragmatist than a dreamer. No, definitely not. Yeah, there's so much stuff that I want to do that I haven't done because I'm not pragmatic. I would like to be pragmatic I would like to have pragmatism as a skill because it's very pragmatic of a skill to have, ironically. Or unironically, but I don't know. You see what I'm getting at anyway. But like, I mean, yeah, I'm not a pragmatic person, I guess. I'm just not. I crave novelty. Yes, I absolutely crave novelty, and that's kind of like me. Like, you know, I am novelty. I am always out to basically just get everyone's attention and give everyone a good laugh, I guess, and find a good laugh in pretty much anything that I do. Like, yeah, I try not to spend too much time being serious, if that makes any sense, you know? That doesn't mean I can't take things seriously, but I tend to, you know, when I'm in my element, I guess, just enjoy myself. I like to enjoy myself. That's pretty simple, really. I devote a large portion of my time to gaining a deeper understanding of things. Totally. Wait, I devote a large portion of my time to gaining a deeper understanding of things. No. I'm going to go somewhat agree. I'm gonna go neither. Actually, I'm gonna go neither because there's plenty of instances where I don't do that. Sometimes I would like to have a deeper understanding of things, but I often don't commit to it. If that makes any sense. So I'm gonna go with neither. But not just because of that though. Because there are times where I will commit to getting a deeper understanding of things. So I'm gonna go neither. I devote lots of solitary time to my personal interests. I mean, YouTube, I feel like that answers that question. That's what that is. So yeah. I don't care that much about whether many people love me. I mean, I can mostly agree. Not totally agree. I mean, I don't care that much whether many people love me. Love is a very specific word. But I'd say mostly agree. I mean, yeah, I'd say mostly agree. I mean, you know, obviously, like knowing that I'm appreciated is very nice. But you know, I'm not really gonna slow my stride if I find out that someone doesn't like me. You know, oh wait, this is the next question. Actually, I was gonna say I like myself. No, I see. I actually do like myself. It might sound like an egotistical thing. I don't want it to come across as an egotistical thing, but I mean, I am sort of happy for the most part. Okay, so like in absence of things like the gut, you know, there are things. Wait, actually, I should probably, in the spirit of that, disagree, because I mean there are things that obviously I don't like about myself, and there are things that I would want to change. But for the most part, I don't self-loathe or anything like that. You know. I completely. I like tea. I like. I don't know. That doesn't quite answer the question, but I like. I like my own quirks. If that makes any sense. I like myself. That it's not really any way that I can explain it. I guess. Just the answer to the question is yeah. I do like myself. I don't mind adapting to sudden changes in plans. Okay, so I don't mind it, but I would prefer that you didn't. So somewhat agree, I guess. Like, as long as I think that as long as I think that the plan has been changed to a new plan and it's not just like, oh, we're chucking it out the window. I'd be like, well, I suppose I suppose a good way of explaining it is as long as I still know what it is we're trying to do, I'm all good. Even if we don't know how we're going to get there or how we're going to do it, that's all fine. We can figure that bit out another time or make it up as we go. But as long as I still have an idea of what the hell's going on, like what we're doing, what is the goal, what's the objective, what's actually happening. If we don't have that, then I'm probably going to really unenthusiastically like I have got no idea what's going on. I can't help out because I literally don't know what I'm helping with. I don't. So I guess yeah, just somewhat agree with that. I don't stop until everything is perfect. So that's not true. I'm gonna go with only somewhat agree because I do like perfection, but I feel like yeah, there are a few instances where I will compromise. I don't think that anyone would ever feel intellectually intimidated by me. I don't think that anyone would ever. Yeah, see, I don't think anyone's gonna. I don't think that anyone's gonna be intellectually intimidated by me, and that's not just me trying to be humble, like oh I'm a dumbass. Genuinely, I don't think that people are going to be intellectually intimidated by me. Like I feel like I have my moments of being smart. I don't think I'm incapable of intelligence or anything like that, or that I can't develop this skill or that skill, but I just don't like the idea of people being intellectually intimidated by it. I don't think I would. No, here's what it is. I wouldn't let them be intellectually intimidated because I wouldn't. I would always explain something to the best of my ability. I wouldn't try to come across as smarter than somebody. Not in like a know-it-all, not even in just like a know-it-all sense. It's just I would try to sort of erode that divide between knowledge barriers, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I've explained that properly, but anyway, I don't think that anyone would ever perceive me as a, oh wow, there you go. I don't believe that anyone will perceive me as a know-it-all. Probably not. I don't think that anyone would ever perceive me as a know-it-all. I would hope not, but I mean, I feel like it's like if I correct somebody on like a movie knowledge or something like that, but they're not a movie nerd and it annoys them that they've just been corrected. I feel like that could happen. I would like to go somewhat agree because again, I like I said, I don't think I think I would like to make sure people don't think of me that way, no matter how much I do or don't know. But I do. Maybe I should go neither. Because here's the thing: I like to know things. I do like to know things. I enjoy being noticed. Totally agree. Totally. I like being noticed. I am. I don't know that I would call myself an attention seeker, but I mean, I feel like it could apply. Like, I do like being the center of attention. I do like people giggling, giggling at me. You know, here's the thing. Either laughing with me, laughing at me. I don't really care. I do like the attention. I enjoy breaking down projects into manageable steps. Okay, so I'm going to go for somewhat agree because I enjoy it. That doesn't mean I'm good at it. Big difference. I enjoy exploring alternative approaches outside of established rules. Okay. Again, I'm going to go with neither because it doesn't... Wait, I enjoy exploring... Okay, wait, all right. Outside of established rules. Now, I'm not going to go with neither because here's the thing. I actually do. And that's a really big problem because sometimes the established rules, the rules are established for a reason, all right? This is the best way to do a thing. Just do it this way. And I'll overcomplicate and destroy something because I'm trying to do it this completely random and stupid way under the assumption that maybe it'll work better. I'm going to agree, and that's not in a good way. I enjoy going out a lot. So I'm going to go for neither because for the most part, I'm pretty indifferent about it. But here's the thing. I do enjoy going out. I just don't do it. If that makes any, like, there's the YouTube thing, for example. It's just to go back to that. It's like, well, again, if I have to go out for anything, I'm not like, I've got to go out. Like, no, I'm more than happy to go out. Like, if I'm invited out to, well, just to do anything really. If I'm invited out at all, I'm more than happy to put stuff on pause and come out. It's just that I don't, I guess, take the initiative to just do it myself for no, with no like plan in mind, with no objective. For example, like I don't just go out for a walk aimlessly. You know, like unless I'm going out to do something. Like I do enjoy going out, but I don't do it much. You know. Excuse me. I enjoy going with the flow and embracing spontaneity. So I do enjoy going with the flow, and I do embrace spontaneity, but only to a certain extent, like I've already mentioned a million times. I enjoy intellectually stimulating tasks. Yeah, not attacks. I do enjoy intellectually stimulating tasks, but that doesn't mean I'm always good at them. I favour practical considerations over theoretical ones when making decisions. So, yeah, practical considerations. I favour practical considerations over theoretical ones when making decisions. So, again, it's like if somebody makes a theoretical decision, like, oh, it would work this way in theory, I would have to have like practical evidence of it working. I probably favour practical considerations. What does it mean? What would it mean, practical considerations? I don't see the similarities between practical and theoretical. I don't see the relation. I'm gonna go somewhat agree though, because I feel like I'd rather go for a decision that I understand rather than one that I don't, if that makes any sense, or one that there's no reason to assume will work over one that's tried and tested. You know, I feel comfortable around people. Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, I feel comfortable with myself for the most part. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm comfortable. Again, there are things that I don't like about myself, but that's part of the problem, is that I am for the most part comfortable in them. Like, yeah, I have flaws that I would like to change, but I guess part of the reason why I haven't changed them yet is because I am maybe too comfortable with them. Like, yeah, I am comfortable with myself. I feel energized rather than drained after spending time with acquaintances. So I wouldn't say that that's... I'm not going to go for somewhat agree, because I feel energized. See, here's the thing. I think this is another, I guess, reason why I hit record. I've had a recent a hypothesis about myself, right? I think I might be some weird breed of extrovert, right? Stay with me, all right? I think I might actually be a little bit extroverted, but I spend all of my time indoors. Now, again, bear with me, because I'm very performative. I like picturing. I like expressing to people, even though like I'm in a room on my own, and like, you know, even though I'm in a room on my own and really no one's probably watching. Like, the whole idea is that someone would at some point watch. The whole idea is that I'm acting as if I am being seen. I am very performative, and you know, I don't like you know, when the camera's off and I'm not doing anything, I'll just sit on a game in silence, in complete silence. But even then, when I was going through Mass Effect, again off camera, I didn't actually finish that second playthrough because I decided to pause it and then go and watch the Let's Play again. I need to make sure that I don't get sidetracked on this point as well. And when I was going through Mass Effect, I was still acting as if I was recording, as if I was on camera. I was still, you know, sort of speaking out, you know, addressing Sir Garrus and Mr. Grunt, and I was still reading the codex logs and the and the planet bios and all that. I was still doing all of that as if I was still recording, because I think I am quite expressive and performative. I might actually be a weird breed of extrovert, you know? So, when it comes to spending time with acquaintances, I mean, I guess, yeah, it does energize me to be performative for people and to speak to people, basically, yeah. But yeah, to go back to that other, to finish off that other point, yeah, I feel like I'm an extrovert that spends all of his time indoors. That's like the weird mix, right? It doesn't really gel, but that's sort of where I'm sat with that. I feel my emotions deeply. I mean, I don't really know what this kind of question is asking, but I would say, I mean, I feel the emotions, yeah. I would, I would like to think so. I just don't really know what it's asking. I'm just gonna go with agree for that one. I feel sympathy for those who are worse off than me. Yeah, I would say I feel sympathy. I mean, again, I suppose there would be a limit in some circumstances, but yeah, in general, I'd say I feel sympathy. I feel the emotions of others. Now, excuse me. Now, this isn't actually true. I like to sympathize with people, I like to hear them out, and I like to try and understand the emotions, but I don't think I really feel the emotions. I have to sort of emulate them, if that makes any sense. Like, throughout a conversation, you know, I'll ask how they're doing, or I'll figure out what's going on with them and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think I really feel what they're feeling. Excuse me. At least to my understanding of the word "feel." So I'm gonna go for somewhat disagree. Like I'd need information from them. You know, like I wouldn't just sort of look at a sudden facial twitch and then immediately feel sad, because you know, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't think I'd feel what they're feeling. I'd have to understand what they're feeling, if that makes any sense. Trying to highlight that difference. I find it hard to approach others. I'm trying to think. I find it hard to approach others. I'm gonna go for somewhat disagree. I wouldn't say I don't think I find it easy to approach others. Like, I mean, I don't do it often, but I don't really have much of an issue with doing it. I'm just gonna go for somewhat disagree. I feel like I'm better at it than going neither. You know. I find it hard to be comfortable in disorganized environments. Now, environments. Okay, I find it hard to be comfortable in disorganized environments. I don't think that I do. See, here's the thing. Things aren't disorganized to me. They're disorganized to everybody else. It's like chaotic organization. Oh, go get lost. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those. Okay, so things usually. It's like if I look at my book collection over here to the right, which you can't see. Don't worry about it. Things are like, you know, bunched up together. It would annoy me if, for example, the Hunger Games books was in the middle of the Harry Potter book. You know, like just one of them was just mixed. You know, obviously that would annoy me. So I'd say I find it hard to be comfortable in disorganized. I don't know, something about that wording is like, oh, I'm uncomfortable because everything's disorganized, and it's like, no, not quite. But I mean, I like things to be disorganized. I'll go for somewhat agree, I guess. I find it. Excuse me. I find unexpected changes more thrilling than sticking to a plan. Now, I wouldn't exactly call them more thrilling. I mean, well, like, yes, they are more thrilling. I just don't know that I would prefer them. Unexpected changes. I'm gonna go with, like, somewhat disagree. Like, no, I'd prefer to know what's happening. I'd prefer things to not go out of whack and for things to stick to a plan. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it that much. I generally like to spend my free time with people. Now, again, I like to, but that doesn't mean that I actually do a lot of it. So I'm gonna go with neither. Because, I mean, I am generally, like, pretty indifferent to it, but again, I like making my YouTube videos. I'd like to involve plenty of other people in the process of making YouTube videos, but, you know, like doing, like, more collabs and stuff like that. Maybe play some more games with Harry, or, and yeah, I would count that. But, I mean, in the spirit of the question, it probably means going out. Again, I don't do that often, but I'm more than, like, I do like it. I just don't do it much, so I'm going to go with somewhat agree, because I know that's not quite the spirit of the question. So I'm kind of trying to find the balance between what I would consider the spirit of the question and also what I count as the question. I get angry as a way to show that someone has done something to wrong me. No, again, I don't really get angry very much. I already kind of went over that. But yeah, I don't get angry. I might get, like, a bit frustrated in the moment, but I don't walk away with it, you know? I get overwhelmed by my feelings. No. I don't think so, at least. No. I get panicked easily. No. Unless, like, a spider runs at me or something, or somebody runs into my house with an AR, like, you know, that would panic me, I guess, but no, not really. I hate being the focus of attention. No. I've already been through that one. No, I don't. I like being I have a creative and powerful imagination. I would say it's an uncontrolled and imaginative imagination, but I'm not a creative person much at all, actually, so I'm just going to go for, I'm not really much of a creative person at all. I have feelings of worthlessness or hopelessness. No, actually. Definitely not hopelessness. And not in like an egotistical way, but like I don't sit there and think, I never, as much as this sounds like a really cliche thing to do, I don't really think about what I can't do. I just don't have these feelings. I definitely don't do these things. I don't really care whether or not a lot of the things that I'm motivated to do don't work out. I care that they might. I care that they might. I care that I'm still in a position to try them. That's not really much of a way. There's not really much more explanation I think I can give to that. It doesn't really bother me much. Like the idea that a lot of things aren't going to work out, or the idea that things, like the idea that I could be a complete and total failure, it doesn't actually affect me because I'm still going to do it. I have fun when I attend big parties. I mean, I do have fun when I attend big parties. I don't know that I would have more fun than a smaller party. I have fun when I attend big parties. I would say somewhat agree. I mean, I'm mostly indifferent whether or not the party is big or small, but I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Again, I do have fun being around other people, even though I might not do it often. So yeah, I keep things organized. Right. So I think I've already been through this. It's organized for me. Everything is where I need it to be, but it is not organized. So in the spirit of, I do keep things organized, but in the spirit of the question, no, probably not. In fact, considering what normal people would probably consider to be organized, probably not. Yeah. I leave messes in my home. See, again, no. Oh, wait, no, hang on. I leave messes in my home. No. 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 I mean, like, I clean up after myself. I don't leave messes. Like, some people may consider my room disorganized and maybe qualify that as a mess, which I guess maybe there's an argument for, but like I said, everything is where I need it to be. It's organized for me, and I don't leave messes. Like, I clean up after myself. Yeah, no, I'd say I disagree. I disagree with that. I like attracting attention. Yeah. You're halfway there. Here we go, guys. We're halfway there. Again, it's done the same things. Yeah, this is it. It's done the same things as before. A passionate dreamer. Now, passionate, sure. I mean, yeah, sure, I'd agree with that. Passionate dreamer. It never said that I was a good creative. It just said I'm a passionate dreamer, and I guess I am. Yeah. Social perfectionist. This is wrong. I don't know how you're possibly getting at this. I've already kind of been through this before, haven't I? Social butterfly. Now, truth seeker. Am I a truth seeker? I mean, I like to think I am. I do like knowing the truth, but I wouldn't say that like I'm determined to uncovering the conspiracy or something like that. Like, I do like to know the facts. I'm kind of like half and half on that. What do you mean I'm not soft-hearted? Who do you think you are? I'll kill you. Anyway, social butterfly. Again, it depends on what it means by social butterfly. I'd say that I mostly perform well in social situations. Maybe not to the standards that society has agreed to, but I feel like I'm alright. Social perfectionists, again, no, because that would imply that I'm sort of focused, or like I'm focused or driven to sort of establish acquaintances and make loads of friends and build relationships with people. And like, I'm really extroverted and I like to go around and talk to as many people as possible. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm not actually a social perfectionist. I just like attention, and also I do like speaking to people, but not in a social perfectionist way. I wouldn't call myself a social perfectionist. Again, humble. I like that it's chosen that trait for me, but again, it's one of those like you can't call yourself humble. That's not how that works. Rational optimist. I'm an irrational optimist, thank you very much. Charismatic, I would like to think so, but I can't qualify that. CEO, you're wrong. Continue to find out which type you are and get an in-depth analysis of your personality. Alright, so we've got to continue. I like it when things are in order. Somewhat agree, but not to everybody else's standards. I like to get lost in contemplation. Yes. Very, very verbal contemplation. You know, there was a time actually in you know, I have like full blown conversations and arguments with myself. Like I'm in a room on my own and like I'm lost in thought about something, but I vocalize what I'm saying. And like how I think about things is by sort of picturing them in a conversation, like an inner monologue, right? There was a time when it was in the Fall Guys tournament with Tay. Before we all sat down and actually like got into it, I'd hit record, and I guess I must have like, I don't know, gone and made a brew or something. I can't remember. And there was just a point where like, I was editing it, and there was just a space of time, where, you know, I guess you know, I was okay, and then I came back, and I was just stood like here. In my room, looking at my wall, having a full-on argument with the wall. It was such like an odd thing. It was such a surreal thing to do, because obviously I didn't remember doing that like in the video, but it's one of those things where like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd like to talk to myself. I it's how I think, I guess. But it was so weird to see from like from like an out of body perspective. It was so weird to look at. I'm like, that's how I look to other people. Like when they walk into a room and I'm just having a conversation with myself, like that's what I look like. It was so weird. But yeah, that's what happens. That's what I'm like. I like to have a detailed plan before starting a project. I like to have a detailed plan before starting a project. No, I'm really awful at planning. I'm really, 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 really awful at planning. Here's the thing. I would like to have a plan, but I'm awful at planning. Like, if I would like to be good at making plans, but I'm terrible at planning, guys. I prefer to just get into it and figure it out. I like to-do lists. I don't have a to-do list. I don't like physical to-do lists, but I do like... I'm going to go for somewhat agree, because I don't have, like, a physical to-do list. I guess the list of games to get through that I have doesn't count. Unless you want to count it in like a professional YouTube idea, like, oh, these are the games that people want me to play, these are the games that I want to play, and, you know, in terms of making series on them, like, it depends on whether or not you want to consider that. But it's like, so I don't have like a physical to-do list, but I do like the idea of like, I do like the idea of, oh, this is what I need to get done today, let me tick all this stuff off. So I'm only going to go for somewhat agree, because I don't have a physical to-do list, but I do like having a plan for the day of, this is what I need to get done today. I just don't often get around to like actually writing it down on a piece of paper and doing it, you know? It's just, I'm only going to go for somewhat agree on that. I love to help others, yes. There's not really much to explain about that. I love to help others. That doesn't mean that I always know the best way to go about doing it. That doesn't mean that I help as many people as I would like to. But that's like one of my big motivations. I know it's one of those things where you hear someone say it and you just sort of nod along like, yeah, of course you would say that about yourself. And I don't mean that in like a cynical way either. Like, of course, I'd imagine like most people would, like 99% of the species would say that about themselves. I fully understand that. But yeah, I do. Not really much else I can say about it. You believe it or don't, I do. I do love to help people. That's where I get like 90% of my satisfaction, is knowing that something that I do has helped somebody. I don't really know how else to really explain that, or what to say or go into. Yeah, totally agree with that. I love to spend time reflecting on things. Now, it depends on what it means by the spirit, like what this question means. I love to spend time reflecting on things. So I would say, depending on the context, it's like totally disagree, or mildly disagree, or like somewhat agree. Because I guess, like, does it count, like, for example, when I said that I talk to myself a lot, does that count as reflection? Like, if I'm talking about something, I'm, like, does that count as reflection? I do like to reflect on things. I love to spend time reflecting on things. It's not like I take time out to reflect on things. It's just that I really like talking to myself. And I am talking to myself about something specific, like maybe a conversation I've had with somebody, or something from a game, Mass Effect, or like I do like to reflect on things, but not. I don't often. I'm not sat there like I'm reflecting on my actions, or like I'm having self-doubt, or any of the like strong emotional reflection or anything like that. So I'm only going to go for somewhat agree, because I don't know which one it's going for. I maintain unwavering loyalty. Unwavering loyalty. I'm trying to think of like a real life instance where that's been tested. I would like to think so, yeah, but. So I would like to I would like to say that I'm loyal to the best parts of somebody. Like, I wouldn't just do anything they ask. I wouldn't just do anything they ask, like whenever they ask, just for the sake of it or anything like that. It's I'd say it's loyal in the sense that like Batman was loyal to Superman in the Injustice games. Like that kind of loyalty. Not that I own like a big jet and I would go around fighting superhumans or anything like that. But I'd like to think that I'm very loyal, but I don't really know how I could go about. I don't know how I could really go about explaining how that's been tested. I don't think that has really been tested. I make an effort to follow the rules. Yeah. Depends on what it means. Follow the rules like guidelines, like terms and conditions. I mean, I guess. I make an effort to, yeah. I mostly agree. I mean, I make friends easily, so I'm gonna go for somewhat agree, because again, I think I'm very personable. I think I'm easy to get along with. I'm definitely a people pleaser. I'm definitely easy to get along with, but again, I don't often find myself in social situations where I come out with a friend, because I don't often find myself in those social situations. So I'm only going to go for somewhat agree. I need every detail taken care of. I don't need every detail taken care of, but I would like every detail taken care of. I never want to hurt anyone. Yeah. I mean, I don't go out. Yeah, I don't want to hurt people. No, I don't. There's nobody that like I hate and I want to die. But I mean, there are people. There will be circumstances, and there will be people where I think, okay, you are. I don't have sympathy for you getting yourself in. I don't have. I don't. There will be lines. There will be points where you sit there where like I lose sympathy for somebody in what they get themselves into or something like that. There will be a line, but no, I don't want to hurt people. I often find myself fantasizing about romance. Do I find myself fantasizing about romance? I'm gonna go for somewhat agree. I often find myself. Yeah, I don't really know what I could do to explain that. In like a really cheesy sense, like I fantasize about being there for people. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Again, I know that sounds really cheesy, but sure. I prefer being left alone. I wouldn't say I prefer being left alone. Only in the sense like, right, well, I'd prefer to have as much time as possible to get through these YouTube videos, so if anybody needs me, I'd prefer that they didn't need me. But, like, I wouldn't say I prefer being left alone, no. I'm not going to disagree, no. Someone needs something of me, just ask. No, absolutely not. I prefer my daily activities to follow a set schedule. Not necessarily a set schedule. Okay, so I prefer my daily activities to follow a set schedule. So if I'm getting everything done on a schedule, like, oh, this is done by this time, now I can do this. This is done by this time. I'm like, oh, great, I'm on schedule, everything's going well. Like, I'll probably sit there and think, yeah, everything's going well. And it'll probably make me feel good. But, like, I don't usually schedule things out in a schedule, so I'm just going to go for neither, to be perfectly honest. I prefer to distance myself when others engage in disagreements. No, actually, no. I get involved more than I should. No, yeah, I get involved more than I should. It doesn't mean that I'm always good at resolving a situation, but I like to try to. I prefer tried and true methods over discovering new ones. Generally, yeah, but only if it's tried and true for me. If that makes any sense. So, like, going back to that other question before, where it was like, I can't remember what the question was, but my answer was basically like, oh, there's established rules for things, and this is why. And I end up messing it up because I'm trying to do this completely crazy thing that makes sense to me and only me. So there's that. It's like, okay, so for example, where I used to work, there was a shortcut that I could have taken the entire time, but I would always walk around the corner the long way because that was the route that I looked up on Google Maps to find the location. And then even though I'd walked past the shortcut point, which just goes the same direction, it's just an earlier turn, I kept doing that. I kept doing the way that I'd always walked because I'd always walked that way, and I just never even realized like, oh wait, I can go this way. It just never occurred to me. So I guess I prefer tried and true methods over discovering new ones because I always stick to what I know, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I'm very narrow-minded in that sense. In that a lot of external details outside of what I'm already focused on or what I already know don't jump out at me. It's like the amount of times like I've walked into a room, I've walked into a room and not known that something's there because I've never had to know that it was there. I've never looked for it, or I've just never known it was there. That's happened so many times. I prefer variety and spontaneity over routine. No, actually, no. Totally disagree. Like, I'm very routine based, not always in a good way. I often do the same things every day, like a damn NPC. I like routine. Although then again, okay, so wait. It said prefer, not be malleable to the opposite. It said prefer, so I'm going to leave it as totally disagree. I prioritize doing my work well over considering the emotions of those around me. No. I'm trying to think of like a circumstance. I'm trying to think of like a context here. I prioritize doing my work well over considering the emotions of those around me. Look, I'm just going to go for neither here. I don't know what context it's referring to here. I've got no clue. I prioritize rational analysis over personal feelings during decision making. I prioritize rational analysis, yeah, but that doesn't mean that I disregard the feelings. I do prioritize rational analysis. I prioritize it, yeah. I put a lot of effort into my work. So I'm only going to go for somewhat agree here. I'm sure I could do a lot better in a lot of the things that I do, but I would like to think that I put effort in. I just think that I could probably do a lot better. So I'm only going to go for somewhat agree. I feel like I am absolutely a procrastinator. I question the reasons for people's viewpoints instead of readily agreeing with them. Yeah, agree. Yeah. I question the reasons for people's viewpoints instead of. So I was going to go with just normal agree, but I was like, okay, so I wouldn't agree with somebody's viewpoint, but the most that I'll do is accept it without prying. Like, I'll accept the difference in viewpoint before what was I even saying? I'll accept the difference in somebody's viewpoint after questioning them a little bit without prying too much. But no, like I don't just readily agree with somebody's viewpoint. That doesn't make any sense. If like no, I'll question it. Of course not. Of course, I quickly understand things. Sometimes, not always. Not in a lot of cases, but sometimes, yeah. I rarely get excited or upset about anything. No, I rarely get excited or upset about anything. I'm gonna go for neither because I do try to like stay reserved sometimes. Like if somebody else is excited about something, I'll try. I'll try to share the excitement, but I'll try to remain mostly reserved. It's like the objective isn't to appear like I don't care or anything like that, or it's just I'll try to remain reserved so that I can, as much as it might sound like a weird thing to say, remain vigilant. I guess remain. So I can still observe. Like I try not to get caught up, if that makes any sense, or overly excited. But yeah, no, I do get excited, and I rarely get excited or upset. I don't get upset. That's the thing. You've complicated this now because you've. I don't get upset about really anything. If you just said I rarely get upset about anything, I would say agree. I don't tend to get upset about much at all. But you've mixed excited in there. So I'm like, right, but I do allow myself to get excited. So I'm only going to go for somewhat agree. All right. I respect authority and tend to follow established rules. So I respect authority. That doesn't mean that I don't, like, challenge your understanding of things if something you say doesn't make any sense. I respect authority and tend to follow established rules. So sometimes I'm going to go for neither agree. You know what? I'm gonna commit to saying neither. Yeah, neither. I'm pretty indifferent to that, to be perfectly honest. I seek advice and opinions from others before making decisions. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, if I'm in a room with other people, I'll figure out what everybody else like. I'll figure out. Is it like I'll make sure that we have as much information as possible to work with. If somebody else knows something that I don't, I need to know that if I'm going to make a decision, because otherwise we're going to make a wrong decision. I set high standards for both myself and others. So not myself and others. I don't think I do. Here's the thing. I don't think I do. Not as much as I should. I set high standards for myself. Okay, so there's a difference between setting a high standard and meeting that high standard. Right, okay. I set high standards for myself both. I'm going to go for neither. Or maybe even... So either neither or somewhat disagree. I definitely don't set high standards for other people. I don't think I do that. I'm going to go for somewhat disagree, you know. I shed tears. To shed tears means to cry. I mean, I don't think I've cried out being, like, upset or in pain or anything in quite a while, but I don't tend to. I mean, again, there'll be a time. There'll be something, you know. I'm not, you know, I don't mean to say like I'm a big tough guy, I don't cry or anything like that, but I mean, I haven't shed tears on something in a long while. Like I'll go for mid to disagree, because like I said, you know, there'll be something. I spend lots of time thinking about what might happen in the future. I don't think what might happen? See, what might happen covers a lot of things, in which case I guess maybe, yeah, but also what might happen in the future, not in like a cautious sense, like oh, I'm panicking about the future kind of thing, but I'm not going to go for like somewhat agree. I like to focus on what I'm doing now, you know, and stay present, so to speak, but, okay. I steer clear of conflict. I steer clear of conflicts. I tend to, yeah, I like to, yeah, somewhat disagree. No, wait, yeah, somewhat agree. Excuse me. I'll mostly agree. No, somewhat agree, because the idea isn't, like, I poke my nose where it doesn't belong, I guess, but at the same time, I don't try to instigate conflict, so I'm going to go for somewhat agree between both of those. I struggle to trust, excuse me, I struggle to trust more freely due to fears of being exploited. No, actually, definitely not. If I've been told many times that I'm too kind and that people are going to walk over me. I guess there will be a line where, like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that, but at the same time, yeah, it probably is pretty easy to exploit me. I sympathize with other people's feelings. I sympathize with other people's feelings. Yeah, I sympathize. That doesn't mean I empathize, if that makes any sense. Like, I sympathize in that I try to understand where other people are coming from, and I do try to understand them as best as I can. But that doesn't mean that I think I can really feel what they're feeling. You know? It's like if somebody's sad, I don't feel sad. I'm more focused on thinking of what I can do to help, if that makes any sense. Because I sympathize and I want to help, but I'm not sad. If that makes... It's a weird thing to try and describe. It's like, I'm sad that they're sad. I am, like, partially sad. I'm not happy, but, like, I don't. It's like it's a weird thing trying to explain. I think. Do you know what? I'll just leave it all to interpretation. I think I've explained it enough. I think I've made the point clear enough. I sympathise with other people's feelings, yeah, but not quite empathise. If that makes any sense. I take pleasure in experiencing a blend of joy and sorrow. I mean, like when I'm playing a game, I don't like constant upbeat stories, you know, like, I mean, you gotta have a little bit of sorrow in there, sure, but I take pleasure in experiencing a blend of joy and sorrow. I mean, I don't take pleasure in experiencing sorrow. Again, unless I'm, like, watching a film or something like that, then, like, yeah, but No, in real life, I don't take pleasure in experiencing sorrow. No, I'm gonna go with like neither. That's like that's an odd question. I tend to conform to societal norms instead of standing out from the crowd. No, I feel like I absolutely stand out. No, I'm gonna go for disagree. You know, I don't mean that in like a oh I'm completely unique way, but like I mean, no, I don't think I'm not usually too fussed. I mean, obviously there will be a line like with like with some of the other questions. I think of others. Before I think of myself. For the most part, yeah. Again, not in every situation, but yeah. I think very quickly. Okay, so I think fast, not sharply. If that makes any sense. Like what's going on up in here may come across as damn near schizophrenic, right? But that doesn't mean that they're making very sharp turns. I think very quickly. Am I a quick thinker? I don't think I am, but at the same time, am I particularly slow? I'm gonna go for somewhat disagree. I try to impress others with the way I look. I try to impress others with the way I look. No, not really. No, not really. I typically fear for the worst. Nope. I usually take the role of the leader. No, somewhat disagree. No, yeah, I'm gonna go for somewhat disagree. I'm trying to open myself up to the idea of I'm trying to open myself up to the idea of doing that, but no, I don't. I value the creative expression. Like I like the idea of doing it. I do think it's a good skill to have, leadership, but I don't think I have that skill. I value the creative expression of ideas more than accuracy in communication. I value the creative expression of ideas more than accuracy in communication. No. I don't. No, totally disagree. I value truthfulness, even if it might hurt my feelings. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I'd prefer to have many fairly close friends than just a few very close friends. No, absolutely not. Doesn't mean like mate. I'd love to have many very close friends, but no, I don't mind like a very tight knit group. Absolutely, I'm relaxed about time, often completing tasks at the last moment. If I complete them at all, yes. In a crisis, I'd rather support someone else in charge than take charge myself. Okay, so support someone else in charge. If somebody else is already in charge, I'll absolutely do what I can to contribute. But take charge. Again, I feel like it's in the same vein. It's in the same vein as like I like to hear myself speak. I like to sort of jump in and take the hit, if that makes any sense. Not take the hit in. It's like It's like I don't like to wait, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna go for somewhat agree because it can swing either way. I'm gonna go for somewhat agree because it can swing either way. But I don't like to wait for somebody else to jump in. The most that I'll do is I'll be the one to kick off the conversation of like who has the most information or who's the best for what job or something like that, you know? Like, but it depends on whether or not you count that as leadership. It's just basically getting everybody else's minds ticking, if that makes any sense. Like I don't want to wait for that to happen on its own. I want to get that going as soon as possible. In a project, I prefer trying new methods over sticking to the usual ones. Again, I don't prefer either one. But if left to my own devices, I probably will break something by trying to do it. I would prefer to know how other people do it and how it's supposed to be done. But in absence of that, I'll absolutely. It depends on what the project is. You know, it depends. In a project, I prefer trying new methods over sticking to the usual ones. All right, stick to the question. Neither. That's my answer. I'm pretty indifferent on that. In common tasks, I'm more likely to follow my own approach than conventional ways. In common tasks, I'm more likely to follow my own approach than conventional ways. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. In conflicts, I seek a logical solution, even if that solution bothers others. For the most part, I seek a logical solution. Well, see, here's the thing. logical by my logic, not necessarily by everybody else's logic. So it depends on how they're arguing logically. I'm gonna go for mostly agree, depending on what their logic is. I see a logical. No, I'm gonna go for somewhat agree because again, I'm gonna hear what everybody else has to say about it. I'm gonna hear their logic. I'm not just going to say I'm right, you're wrong, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm not gonna, in disagreements, I'm more assertive than gentle. In disagreements, I'm more assertive than gentle. I don't know that there's. I don't think these are similar. I don't think these are opposites to one another. But I'm more assertive than gentle. I would say no. I'd say I'm pretty gentle in disagreements. So I would say I'm as gentle as possible. But I mean, if I disagree, I'm not going to pretend to agree. You know. The most I'll do is if it's worth continuing with you, if winning the argument isn't worth the time and effort, as opposed to just continuing with the day, the most I'll do is agree to disagree. You know, the most I'll do is just be like, right, I don't think it really matters that much, or I'll just shut up and just be silent. But like in most cases, no, I'm going to make it pretty clear that I'm going to make it pretty. I'm going to go for somewhat agree. I'm going to make it pretty clear that I disagree, and I'm going to explain why. But I mean, I'd like to be as gentle as possible, so only somewhat agree, I guess. We're not far from being done now, maybe about 10 more questions. In group settings, I prefer to listen and observe rather than take charge. In group settings, I prefer to listen and observe rather than take charge. Again, depending on the situation, I do like to listen and observe. In tough situations, I rely more on my feelings than verifiable facts. In tough situations, I'm going to go with yes, actually. It's like if we take the Mass Effect example, you know, it depending on you take chances in some of your decisions. A lot of the stances that I was operating on in the Mass Effect series, for example, were this is the thing that I believe in, even if objectively there's a very low chance of it working out. This is the thing that I want to happen, and I'm going to operate as if this is going to happen. But in like a real life. Let's try and operate in not in video game land, all right? In some situations, I rely more on my feelings and verifiable facts. Yeah, actually. I mean, if you want to bring it the verifiable fact about the chances of me turning YouTube into a profitable career, I mean, I've been doing it for like 7 something years now. So, actually, no, I think it is. Wait, no, I think it's past 8 years now. Actually, or am I going crazy? No, 7 years. Yeah, 7 years, because I started the channel in 2016. No. But I did, but I'm like, wait. No, I've been doing it for 8 years now. Like, verifiable facts, oh, it's not working out, do something different, and I didn't do something different. So, yeah, I do rely more on my feelings. It's hard for me to say no to requests. For the most part, yes. I'm not going to call Chaos Queen Lizzie Daddy, and I'm not going to say ooh, W-U. So, there you go. But there is a line. There is a point where I say no. Metaphorical language is more enjoyable to me than literal fact-focused communication. No. Money is essential to my sense of joy. Well, it's not essential to my sense of joy. No, totally disagree. I mean, like I need money to get things that increase my joy, but no, like having loads of money. Having loads of money is boring. Spending that money on things that I enjoy is, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, money isn't crucial to my sense of joy. It's like, well, I mean, I need money to play certain games, and those games give me joy, or, giving that money to somebody who to somebody close to me, or somebody that I know that like needs it as soon as possible. That gives me joy, and it's like, well, does that count as money giving you your sense of joy? It's like, well, it's not the money that's doing that. It's like right, but if I didn't have the money, but I could provide that help in another way, that would still give me the sense of joy, because it's not coming from the money. My actions are more often guided by empathy and understanding than by reason. I mean, I would like to say that that's reason enough on its own. I would like to say that that is the reason. Empathy and understanding than by reason. See, I don't agree with this question. That is the reason. That's reason enough. As far as I'm concerned, that's reason enough. But for what I think the question is trying to go for, my actions are more often guided by empathy and understanding than by reason. So I'm always going to be operating off of my own reasons. So I'm going to go for disagree, but probably not in the spirit that it's asking. I'm going to go for disagree. Okay, there we go. Philosophical discussions do not appeal to me as much as practical topics. Absolutely. So some philosophies sound absolutely dumb, like the one where it's like, oh, if a tree falls and no one's there to hear it, did it ever really fall? Yes, because the setup for that question is that the tree fell. It's like, okay, so if somebody was there to hear it, yes, it did fall because it fell. Like that's the answer to your question is the tree fell. All right, the tree did fall. Okay, so just because nobody was there to hear it, it clearly it did fall because the only situation in which it wouldn't fall. What you're asking, right, is if somebody was there, it didn't fall. I didn't explain that well, but yeah, it's like, okay, if nobody was there to hear it, did it ever really fall? Yes, because somebody not being there to witness it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It still happened. You wouldn't be able to witness it happening if it didn't happen at all. Yes, it did happen. It's a very silly question. The emotions of others play a role in my decision-making process. The emotions of others play a role in my decision-making. I mean, sometimes, yeah. I mean, yeah, I try not to disregard them. To avoid conflict, I often keep my opinions to myself. Sometimes? Yeah, sometimes, yeah. When making decisions, I prioritize... again, there are some things where I sit there and I think, okay, it's not worth getting into. I need to continue with what I'm doing. But there are lines where I'm like, okay, yeah, but I know I fundamentally disagree with this. When making decisions, I prioritize data and facts over my emotions and heart. See, again, that is my data. That is my data as far as I'm considering. I prioritize data and facts over my emotions and heart. When making it depends on what it is. See, the thing, I'm gonna go for neither because I try to blend them all together. That's the thing. Like the way I see it is, your emotions, like logic is just how you reach your emotional goals. Your data and facts. All that you really prioritize and consider is in relation to what you're trying to achieve. Yeah, I'm gonna go with neither because I only prioritize the data in relation to achieving what I want to do. So yeah, when socializing, I gravitate towards larger groups. I gravitate towards larger groups. Probably not, to be totally honest. I don't think it really matters to me much. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with neither. When solving problems, I'm more likely to analyze the situation logically than to consider others' emotions. When solving problems, analyze the situation logically and to consider others' emotions. Again, I'm gonna go with situation logically. Again, I'm factoring in everyone's emotions to the logic of the situation. Like I'm gonna do both. Like I'm doing both here. That's the thing. I'm gonna go with neither because I'm gonna be doing both in that situation and be like, right, okay, so why does somebody feel X about Y? Why? What is Y, and why do people feel like X about it? Like what's the problem? Like I'm gonna do both. I'm not gonna. There's no ultimatum there. With strangers, I can easily keep the conversation flowing. Now, again, you say flowing. How much dead air is there allowed? Conversation flowing. Somewhat agree. I mean, yeah. It depends. All right, here we go. Guys, we're done. We're ready. You've completed the ultimate personality test. Your report awaits. All right, come on. Here we go. We're done. Before viewing your results, would you please answer 3 quick questions for data collection purposes? They won't influence your personality results. Okay, it's going to make me do it. All right, hang on. How old are you? I am 22. Would you mind answering a few more questions? No, thanks. No, I'm not bothered. Hang on. Personality report. Personality report has a solid following pages. Personality snapshot. View your key results with your 4 personality frameworks. All in one image. See my snapshot. Personality cluster. Get an in-depth analysis framework of 69 clusters. Big 5. Dive into science-backed traits like agreeableness, extroversion, and neuroticism. Jungian type. Okay, you know what? Sure. See page. I am the rational optimist. I have told you this. I'm not rational. All right. The image below displays your personality through the 3 leading frameworks and the clearer thinking personality cluster. We've got the big 5. Openness. Openness. I feel like I am pretty open. I don't think I don't think I am very. That's 1 out of 5. I feel like I am very open. Conscientious. Look, I feel like I'm at least a 3 there. Extroversion. See, I was right. Neuroticism. What do you mean 1 out of 5? I'm bloody autistic, mate. Surely this is like 5. All right, anyway. Agreeableness 4. Yeah, not always a good thing, but yeah, I feel like I am a mostly agreeable person. Wait, okay, is it talking about how easy it is for me to agree with somebody else, or the other way around? Because I mean, I'd like to be a 4 out of 5 in terms of. I'd like to be a 5 out of 5 in terms of people agreeing with me. Jungian type, ESFP, Enneagram type 7. I don't know what that means. Sure. Hang on. Okay, all right. That's the personality test. That is the rational. I got the rational optimist. Again, I would like to think that I am absolutely the irrational optimist, but I mean, you know, not every personality test is perfect now, is it? Alrighty then, the time has come for me to depart. I hope you guys had about as much fun as I did. If there are any games you'd like to see me play, feel free to suggest them down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And have a splendid day.